All right, all right. Well, I ain't gonna prolong the time. Yo, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. No matter where you may find yourself as you listen to this, and welcome to the show that received the exciting news today that Avatar, The Last Airbender, is gotten renewed for seasons 2 and 3 on Netflix. So all you hating losers out there who was crying about the show, complaining, whining. Why didn't they make it more like the cartoon? What did they do to Katara? Why didn't they do this? You whiny little crybabies. Call your mothers and tell them we up. We back out here. We got seasons 2 and 3. Two of them things on your head top. You hear me? You hear me? And all of y'all, every single last one of y'all, I don't want to hear y'all about watching seasons 2 and 3. I don't want to hear nothing about that. Matter of fact, all of y'all can kiss my cabbages.
Cabbages?
You got to watch it. You got to watch the show to know the reference. You got to watch the show to know the reference. It's another episode of It's a Black and White Thing featuring A1 and A Ward. You can check out every episode of It's a Black and White Thing by going to the podcast app of your choice, choosing Brains and Bars or It's a Black and White Thing. Rate, review, subscribe. You can also do the same thing. Excuse me. Every episode of It's a Black and White Thing can be live streamed on YouTube as well. So hit the share, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. Hit the likes, get the likes up. Tell a friend to tell a friend it's them boys again. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook by searching Brains and Bars. And as you can see, I got my homie in the building, A Ward, what's going on?
Yo, what's up, man? It's good to be here. Make sure y'all go to IamAwardShop.com, grab you some merch. Make sure you tune in. This weekend will be my 5th battle in 5 weeks. So I've got 4 battles that I just had. Another battle that hasn't released yet, the Gwitty battle. So there's a lot of stuff that should be dropping on YouTube, hopefully in the next couple of months. So please make sure you stay tuned in. And yes, it's a fun time. This is our favorite time of the year, I think, sports wise. I mean, I think similar. I mean, well, somewhat. I think March Madness is probably the most exciting time of the year for me, sports wise, as far as tournament goes. With the Chiefs being in the playoffs and winning the Super Bowl a lot, that excitement is a lot bigger. But consistently, year to year, March Madness is my favorite time. Conference tournaments start next week. If I'm not mistaken, will the Big 12 men's be here? I know the women's are here. Is the men's?
Yeah. Let's see. I'm not sure. Let's see.
Yeah, I keep seeing the Instagram ads that the Big 12 women will be at the Sprint Center, but I'm not sure about the men's conference. If the men are playing here, if they're playing maybe down in Dallas, because now we got Houston and Central Florida and BYU and all that good stuff. But
it's looking like it's here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so a lot of excitement coming here in the city over the next couple of weeks. College basketball is alive and well. NBA basketball is alive and well. Baseball's getting started. We're approaching opening day here in probably the next few weeks. It's a good time, man. It's a good time.
Yo, the GOAT is gonna be in town next month. Messi.
Wow. Let's go. What?
He's gonna be in town. That Sporting took that to Arrowhead.
Wow, they did.
Yeah.
I don't blame them. Those tickets they're probably gonna sell out Arrowhead.
Yeah, like I'm definitely looking at that. So I know we're going to a CONCACAF. I think it's a CONCACAF game.
Yeah, yes.
We're taking on Uruguay.
Oh, they announced the opponent?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. When I was looking up the other day, I didn't think that the opponent was announced yet.
Yeah, let me make sure I'm not tripping. But yeah, I feel like Uruguay is the opponent. Copa America. I'm sorry, it's not CONCACAF. Copa America matchup. But yeah, that is at Arrowhead, so we'll be in the building for that. My first time ever going to a soccer game, so I'm pretty excited about that. If Darwin Nunez is playing, I'm going to boo him mercilessly because his Liverpool side, shout out to the homie Iller, but not shout out to the homie Iller because that's his team. But they beat my Nottingham Forest team in the Premier League, and I need to get a heavy bag at the crib just so like when I have moments where I just need to blow off a little steam, I can just go to the heavy bag, put the timer on 5 minutes, and just kind of go crazy. Because I was definitely.
But after 45 seconds, you realize like I'm done. Like 5 5 minutes of throwing punches is a long time.
Man, listen. Like they scored a goal in technically the 99th minute. It was 8 minutes of stoppage time. The match should have been over. They gave him one last corner kick, and literally the last, like they may have kicked the ball 3 times after that. Header, back of the net. Liverpool beats Nottingham Forest in the game. Nottingham Forest needed that draw to get that 1 point. So
I know
if Darwin Nunez is there, I'm going to.
I was in New York City this weekend, and we were out kind of celebrating Saga's birthday, just hanging out. And we met 2 older couples, and they were behind us, and I could tell the accent was from the UK. So we got to talking. And one of them was a huge fan of the team that you mentioned the other day, Sheffield. I'm guessing they got
Sheffield United.
Yeah.
Ooh, yikes.
Yeah. And from what I gathered, your comments, that they were getting beat pretty handily.
It was 5-0 at halftime.
Yeah, so he shows me his phone, and he's got this Sheffield emblem on it and stuff like that, and he's just talking all kinds of. But they were super nice. I think one thing we underestimate is that, and older, I shouldn't say older, but older people want to talk to younger people. Like in a polite fashion. When you're out and about, like older people enjoy. Like seeing younger people and talking and just having conversation or whatever. So we meet these older couples, and they're just hyped that we know some of areas of the UK, and I've been to Manchester, I've been to London, and I've done done this, I've had that, and use some of the terminology and different things like that. We're having a good time, so they bought us a round of shots of I've had a baby beer before as a shot, but this was like a baby Guinness is what they were drinking, but it's kind of like a Bailey shot. It looks like a little bitty Guinness. It's got the foam at the top and everything. It was really good, but it was just a cool time. And that's New York City for you. You meet people from all over the place, but it was a good time hanging out with Saga, being in New York City and talking about soccer. They were just happy I called it football, and I just called it football because I wanted to get free shots. So, you just got to know the techniques of the going to bars.
All right, yo, Josh, shout out to you, man. I'm glad that we're able to be a little pick me up at the end of the night. We'll actually be on with Josh. I told Ward I'm going to remind him this once a week until we get there.
Yes.
April 23rd, we'll be on with Josh on his podcast, talking the Bears, talking NFL draft. We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. We're also going to talk a little bit of battle rap. So let's start there. Let's get into that. You were, as you mentioned, you were in New York this weekend. Caskets or Classics 2, Queen of the Ring. Shout out to Debo, Vague, Babs, the whole team up there. Taking on your YTG teammate, Bonnie Godiva. Just kind of give us a little bit of a recap of how you felt like the battle went, how you feel like the night was for you up there.
Yeah, no. One thing Queen of the Ring always does, they take great care of me. They flight was great. Straight there, no connections. Had a driver there to pick me up immediately. Got me to my hotel. My hotel was in the heart of Times Square. Super nice hotel. Right when I walk, right when I get off the elevator and walk outside the doors, I'm there. Like I could eat anywhere, go to any stores. I mean, I'm literally right there where Times Square is, and that was really dope. Queen of the Ring. This is my second time battling on Queen of the Ring. The first time was Panic Room, and it was against K Profit, and it was in Atlanta. And Atlanta's the Atlanta Queen of the Ring is a lot different than the New York Queen of the Ring. Even though they still have the same host and it's the same league, but I get the address to the venue, and as a battler, you always want to try to be very, very supportive of the entire card. But also just from a standpoint of like traveling all the time and just trying to be professional and lock in. Like there's too many times where I've shown up when I'm supposed to show up, and then 6 hours later I'm exhausted trying to chug Red Bulls because I haven't wrapped yet. So with this particular event, like I just told myself, like I'm just gonna I got the pay-per-view. I'm just gonna sit in my hotel room until that pay-per-view actually starts. Because I think doors were supposed to open at 4. I don't think the battle started. No, doors were supposed to open at 3 Eastern. Battles were supposed to start at 4 Eastern. And I don't even think they started until 6. So I got there probably like 7:30, maybe something like that. I waited until the first battle or two happened, and then I went ahead and headed over. man, when I got there, you're kind of walking down this Brooklyn street. It looks like nothing is there. It's like, like you're just kind of, it's a little bit sketch area, whatever. It just looks from afar. And then there's just like a door, and then you just open it up. And then, man, when you walk in the venue is just super, super nice. I mean, it was a nice big bar, a nice big main stage, lights, everything, the bricks, it was just really, really nice venue. So I was really surprised by that, just from the aesthetic of outside. But yeah, once I got inside, I was able to, J2 and K Profit were just starting their battle, which I really wanted to see that battle. So I was able to see J2 and K Profit. Then I was able to see Don Lady and Torture. And then we did our battle. The other battles I didn't really. There was another battle or two maybe that happened. Maybe I was outside practicing or something. But yeah, so as far as the event and everything, venue great. J2 K Profit, good solid battle. I really like both of them. Don Lady really impressed me. I had a friend that one of my friends from Kansas City who now lives in New York City. I went to church with him in Kansas City. He brought another friend out. They came out to support, and they're not battle rap fans, you know what I mean? But you can always kind of like just tell from their reactions and stuff, like, and that's kind of cool to see, like, oh, you like this person, I wonder why you like that person, you know what I mean? And Don Lady, she did such a good job, and I think that they were like really, really impressed with her performance. And I was too, she did some really good stuff. But so as far as the battle's concerned, myself and Bonnie, we get mic'd up, we get up there. It's the first time I've seen Bonnie. She walks on stage, she's got her man with her. They're both wearing matching hoodies that say Reparations 2024 on them. So I'm just kind of looking at her like, really, Bonnie? Is this okay? All right, whatever. Do you? You know what I mean? I look at the back and he's holding like a bag. He's holding like a grocery bag, and it's got like a flannel shirt and a straw hat in it and everything. And I'm just like, all right, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? So I will say this much, the crowd to me was lifeless. And a lot of times it's on the entertainer to like engage that. You know what I mean? Like, you got to bring that out of the crowd. You can't always be mad at a lifeless crowd. The tough thing about it is we were far from the end of the stage because of the camera, so we couldn't get close to the end of the stage. And then after the end of the stage is the cameras, and then 20 feet back is the crowd. And there's only probably, I don't know, no more than 100 people there in a very big venue. So not only that, the crowd is like spread out. So this is a person. You know what I mean? And so the energy just wasn't there crowd wise for me. You know what I mean? Just from the jump. And so I think that was probably the toughest thing about the battle. Material wise, I liked what I had. I was prepared. I performed at a high level. And Bonnie rapped well too. But I just thought that this was one of those battles one of those battle events that like Avocado would look at the venue and be like, this many people, all right, cool, we're getting in the pit. You're coming down here, everybody get around and let's rap, like let's create that atmosphere, shout out, yes. Locker Room Lids actually had all the Royals and Monarch stuff on sale for like $10 or $15 at Oak Park Mall. So I caught this one. But yeah, so like this is one of those situations where I think Avocado would have kind of like, made that change and made it more, But I also just say too, is like that Queen of the Ring New York crowd, all the ladies, they kind of got their lady friends. There's a lot of females. This is a different type of crowd, that in every crowd is different. You write differently, So whereas I thought I put on a good performance, I thought I clearly got the win. I thought Bonnie did well as well. No chokes, no like stumbles, nothing like that. I just thought that when it translated on cam and just the feeling in the building, like that energy just wasn't there. You know what I mean? And it also might play the part that it's just like, yo, we are teammates. We're battling each other. So I don't have like that animosity either. So I'm able to cultivate that kind of energy either, trying to get it from the crowd, but it wasn't there. But overall, still a great event. Queen of the Ring put on a great, card. They treated me well, and I had a great time in New York City for real.
So you've now battled Bullets. You battled Nestle and now Bonnie.
Mm-hmm.
Is Mickey Facts going to happen down the line? You've already Or are you
Listen,
done? You're done battling teammates.
Mickey Facts has a good thing going with him. Pendulum Inc. The last thing he needs is to get beat so badly that his students don't even trust the words he says in classrooms anymore. And so that's just he probably just needs to stay in the classroom. But no, Saint, Born, Mickey, all three of them, man. Like I'm with all the smoke. The Infinity Gauntlet right now. I got the Bonnie Stone, the Nestle Stone, and I got the
The bullet
the Bullet
stone.
Stone. So I just need the other three, man, and I'm officially the Whitey G. I mean the Whitey G. What do they call it? Whitey G in the group? No, the YTG. I'm the GOAT. So nah, man. But yeah, it was a really good event, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up. If you have not had a chance to check out A Ward versus Bonnie Godiva, you can go to Rap Grid. You can still purchase the VOD. Caskets are classics too, and it might be classics or caskets too. So please forgive me if I got that backwards. It's on Rap Grid. Please go check that out. All right, so let's continue in this battle rap space.
Text I just got pissed me off. I have to tell you later. It's from a league owner about battling somebody. Nope, not doing that. All right, keep on.
Oh, okay. All right. So Twerk versus A Ward on volume 13 will not be going down, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. Will not be going down on URL. But speaking of before we get to URL, I want to talk about this first. So shout out to Jay Smo from Let's Talk Battle Rap. He's becoming a little bit more visible these days. He's been on the champion panel the last 2 years. He dropped a blog recently entitled his top 5 performers in battle rap. Interesting list, I would say. Go to J Smo Reviews on YouTube. Please subscribe. Go check out all of his content there. It's an interesting list. I'm not here to critique the list or to tear down a list and say it's garbage or trash or whatever, because it's his list. And so I'm not prepared to say anything positive or negative. You go listen, watch, and you come up with your own list or your critique of what you think his list is missing or what he got right? But I had a couple of questions while watching his list. And so I wanted to bring these to you because you are obviously one of the top battle rappers in the game. And so I wanted to start by asking this question. How do you, sir, define performance?
Good question. How do I define performance? I think performance is being able to use words, nonverbal communication, tone, charisma, and just intangibles to entertain the crowd, like outside of the paper. It's really like bringing the paper to life. You know what I mean? Like we all write the words down on the paper. Everybody's got that notepad or a piece of paper or their whatever on their computer or whatever, And it's like, how do those words come to life? There's a lot of dope writers that can get up there and just rap or whatever, but I think performers are able to write ways, to where this line on paper might not look crazy, but watch me perform this, If I was to copy and paste and send you, A1 and say, oh, what you think about this? And you just read it and you were like, I'm on the road now. I'm looking out over the Chrome crowd. You know what I mean? Like, no, I have to be able to bring that to life. You know what I mean? And so I think that performance is, in a way, I think a lot of it is when charisma and the ability to kind of like just feed off the energy and engage the crowd and like tone and different things like that. Whenever you can kind of complete bars with all that stuff to shake buildings, you know what I mean? And I think that like that's why you see guys like Hitman. Hitman was never really the loudest or the biggest, he wasn't the bully or anything like that, but he had a cadence to him and he had an engagement, his eye contact or the way he kept things. I always use the analogy of like and1 dribbling, or somebody that can dribble. Somebody can dribble, but when you got somebody that's got that thing on a string, like Kyrie Irving, you know what I mean? And you're just like, you know what I mean? Like that's what it is, And so that's why they say like guys like Hitman are like the king of performances, because like, man, not only is it just the words, but it's just captivating watching him rap and act out and do different things, you know? And then when you take things like his whole remix thing, or you bring, you know, my little brother gonna have to hold me up. These are heavy performance type bars, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, shout out to Surf, Free to Wave, but like, I know when he got into the promo for the JC battle, and one of the things that people kept bringing up to him that he kept breaking down in the lead up to that battle was, you know, he kept saying, well, y'all keep telling me he got a pen. And he's like, what does that mean? Like, he's like, we all write well. Like
Yeah.
that's why we're at the top of this sport, because we can all put words together well. But he's like, when I step up on that stage, he's like, I'm electrifying. He's like, I am doing something that JC, and now I don't want to put words in his mouth at this point, but basically he was saying that he was doing things that he felt like JC could not do, in terms of he can move the crowd. They connect with him. He can bring that emotion. I feel like a guy like Sean, I think, is considered one of the best performers in this sport, because he connects with the crowd. You think about the JC battle where he goes into the Michael Jackson scheme and he gets into the flow. JC, right? And like, you know, and the crowd is just losing their mind, right? I think so. I said that to say to this, because those guys are seen as really great big stage performers, right? Guys that you want to see on a big card, big stage. Now, one of the things that Jay Smo, when he gave his list, he kept going back to the big stage, and he referenced big stage moments and battles for a lot of the reasoning behind choosing who he chose, right? So when is performance simply a big stage attribute, or can it be used in a variety of settings? Can it be used in a medium, in a small room?
Yeah.
Or is it just for the big stage?
Well, I mean, yeah, no, it's definitely not just for the big stage. However, the big stage also gives you an instantaneous visual of how many people you moved. You know what I mean? And so that's the big thing about a big stage. It's like normally on a big stage, there's 100 people on stage, you know, like, and you're looking at that and you're seeing the whole crowd, like of 1,000, 2,000, whatever people going crazy as well. So it gives you like that's a performer, man. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it is more difficult to rap in front of 2,000 people than it is to rap in front of 200 people. Because, you know, if you've ever watched any kind of battle rap event, hey, can you stop talking at the bar? Hey, can you do this? And you hear that in rooms full of 150, 200 people. Times that by 10, now you got 10 people talking at the bar. Now you got, 80 people that are not even listening. You know what I mean? Like, and you're the guy up there rapping while all this is going on. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot more difficult. So I think that performance-wise, like, it gives you those extra points if you're able to have all those people just glued to you, you know. But that doesn't mean that it can only happen on a big stage. You know, you can have bars, you know, that are in small rooms as well, go just as crazy, just like Twerk standing over the body with the hoodie down. You know what I mean? Like the whole room, everybody wanted to run. You know what I mean? We watched Twerk and Nitty. You know, there was bars still there. You know, they said he was gonna beat me to death. You're right. He died first. Oh my gosh, that's a bar. But like it's the way he's delivering it. There's a lot of different things to the buildup. You know what I mean? I remember when O-Red battled Cortez. I think maybe you were at my house. You know, when we watched that.
Oh yeah,
you know,
yeah.
bow, bow. Ain't nothing else got to speak about. You know, at the end of his round or whatever, he's acting out his bar. It's a small room. We just like, yo, like that's performance. You know what I mean? That's performance in the small rooms. You know, and so and then you know you see those bars in small rooms, and you're like, I guarantee you that would have shook a big building too. You know?
Yeah. So I want to ask, kind of take a quick tangent here. When you land a bomb on a big stage, like, I guess I hear athletes talk about, you know, when they're in the zone and they just hit a shot and the crowd is like losing their mind, of how sometimes they don't really hear anything. It just all becomes kind of like background noise because they're so in the moment.
Yeah.
So when you land, you know, a Glock 40, when you land a Deshaun Watson, when you land a Crown Vic bar, and people are just losing their mind? Like, are you even like, what state of mind are you in at that moment?
Man, it's tough. I've probably been in a few different states of mind. My first big one. You know what I mean? I can tell you that like it was more of that everything like I'm underwater. Like you're just kind of like, whoa, what's going on here? To the point to where I kind of was freaking out, like, oh, guess what? You got to start rapping again. And whenever they decide they want to calm down is when you need to start rapping. You know what I mean? So you got to kind of, collect yourself or whatever. But then like on a Crown Vic line where I'm like pretty sure this bar is going to, shake the building, after I'm kind of already in a bag. Now I'm able to like going into the second round, knowing, okay, when I get to this bar, I see such and such is over here. I see such and such is over here. This is what I think I'm going to do. I can kind of plan out a little bit more and be, but regardless, you just never know until it hits, never know until it hits. And it is, I mean, it's rarely do you get like the payoff of like, I'm guarantee you that there's so many battle rappers that have written bars they thought were going to shake the whole everything. And they, it was whatever. It was just a regular bar. You know what I mean? And so to kind of get those, like you don't get a lot of those a year, and there's a lot of battles. And especially now these days with less and less main stage events, you don't really get a lot of those big moments or whatever. So yeah, you just kind of got to enjoy them and then get back to work.
So okay. Sorry, I just wanted to ask that question just because it came to my mind. But when you talk about writing for reaction, like there is nothing. I don't want to say cringier because I don't think that's fair to the artist. But there is nothing more like when a guy has written a setup and a punch where he thinks he's about to like, even if it's not shake the room, he's about to get a right, like okay, and it is silence. And like you've seen it mess with battlers to where like they then choke because they were expecting the crowd reaction to be able to get them to that next part. It wasn't there, and now their confidence is shaking. They're thrown a little bit off. Well, I guess we got this question from Shout to Mama Ward. What happens if you're on a big stage and the bars don't hit?
I mean, if the bars don't hit, you keep rapping, and that's kind of like what you're speaking to right now. Is like the minute you start writing for crowd reaction is the minute you're in trouble, because basically what you're saying is this bar should hit and it should give me a couple extra seconds to like collect myself and get to the next bar. And it's like, nah, that's not how that's not how it works. You know what I mean? When you forget. Yeah. That's when you forget your transition statements, or you just looked rattled. You stumbled maybe into the next line, and you're kind of just you kind of shook. It's like a quarterback taking a big hit. You know what I mean? And kind of being shook and getting back to the huddle. If you're still feeling the effects, that next throw is gonna be in the dirt or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, and so that's why you never write for crowd reaction. You just can't. You just can't unless you're literally planning to plant people in there to go crazy for you, but you just can't write for crowd reaction because you never know.
So one last thing, and we'll get back to the performance aspect of this. When your opponent has got the entire room going crazy and they're landing bar after bar, everything's a reaction. They're bringing it back, right? Just so they could get the reaction again before they go to their next part of their round. Like, granted, I know you're a freestyle guy, so I know you're always listening for material that you can try to flip before you get into your writtens. But like, what is that like? What is that moment like when like Nitty's like, I know y'all can't even see Aaron live, but he was shot previously, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little too what's the word? Maybe I'm just not easily impressed. But like, there's really been very few rounds like against me in my career where I've just been like, yo, this person is going crazy right now. You know what I mean? Like, what am I going to be able to do with this? And the Nitty first round was definitely that round. That was the first time I felt like somebody, and people will say people have to say, hey, he lost to Ilmac or he lost these battles before that Nitty battle or whatever. But that's the first time I ever heard a round, and I was just like, I don't know if I got anything for this. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, and so that feeling is, hey, this, you can't control what he's doing. All you can say is,
Yeah.
I pray to God he don't have two more of these. You know what I mean? And so, and like as a rebuttaler, I'm constantly trying to find ways to flip the energy. So I'm like, yo, you can either sit here and be mad that he's literally wrote his greatest material ever against you, it seems like, or you can sit here and try to find ways to go, to continue this next round or rebuttal or steal some of this energy. You know what I mean? But like, even like the Big K first round, which is another first round, and a lot of people were just like, yo, he just went smooth off on A Ward. I wasn't even in the moment impressed with a lot of the material he was writing. I thought it was good. I thought he was rapping well, but I was just kind of like, yeah, he's got this crowd in the palm of his hand, and that's a dangerous thing. It don't matter what he's saying. He's got the crowd in the palm of his hand,
Yeah. All right. So let's get back to this top 5 performance thing. All right. So one of the things that Jay, at least in my opinion, right, and I don't necessarily want to speak for him, but I felt like part of what factored into his top 5 was, one, you had to be active, right? So it wasn't an all-time list. This was kind of current active battle rappers. And I feel like he factored wins, right? Like he talked about Hustle and how Hustle had, wins over Rock, had wins over Arsenal, in his opinion, right? And so when you're talking about top 5 performers, how much should wins and losses factor into where you rank if you're making this list, right? How much should that factor into that ranking?
I don't think it should factor in it really at all. Outside of like maybe putting somebody up there who's like a consistently chokes or consistently gets smoked, you know what I mean? Maybe then you're able to say kind of like, yeah, is he that great of a performer if he's always like not remembering his bars or always choked or getting like smoked in battle rap? But I still stick to the whole thing that like 75% of battles, that come out are debatable. Subjectively, you can literally say this person won or that person won. You know what I mean? You can look at a battle like Rock and Av, you can say one. You can look at a battle like Swamp and Chef Trez, either one of them won. You could, a lot of battles are like that. So the whole win-loss thing to me is kind of pointless or whatever when it comes to performance because, man, Loaded Lux might not have won a battle in a long, long time, but we still consider him one of the greatest writers of battle rap. You know what I mean? And like if he was an active battler and performing the same way he's been performing, we would still consider the top 5 pin. Win or loss, we don't care about that. You know what I mean? It's just what he uses, what he chooses to use as his primary tactic in battling. You know what I mean? And so guys like Twerk, guys like Hitman, guys like Ill Will, Briz Rothstein when he was active, these guys, they're top-notch performers, Pat Staff, I feel like, was. And so it's like, these guys are performers. These guys, and that whole win-loss thing and being one of the best performers shouldn't really matter. Are they performing at a high level? Are they consistently performing at a high level? And do they do something that engages the crowd, the energy, the performance, the whatever it is, the show times, the remix, the whatever it might be with that, or just whatever. Like, do they do that on a high level as a better than all the rest of everybody? So,
all right. So with that being said, give me who you think currently. So we'll go active battlers. Who you think are your top 5 performers in battle rap. And here's the thing. You can include yourself in this list, but I'm going to have one rule. You cannot be number 1. You can include yourself in the list.
Oh, I'm number 2.
You cannot. you can be 5, 4, 3, or 2. You cannot be number 1.
Current top 5. I'm gonna go with I'll go with New Jersey Twerk. I'll go with Hitman Holla. I'm going to go with Ill Will. I'm going to go with myself. And I'm going to go with Man, who would be the 5th? I'm not picking you. Who am I leaving off right now? Who am I leaving off? Is there somebody? Is there a glaring? This is the other thing. I don't believe there are a lot of performers in battle rap right now. So that's another thing is I don't. So I guess I'm gonna go with Tay Rock.
Okay, I was going to say like I don't know how you feel about like a bill collector. I don't know if you consider him a performer. He's
Who?
definitely entertaining when he's on stage. I know, I know, I know, I know. It's all right. Yeah, yeah.
No, Bill Collector. Bill Collector is definitely a performer still. Yeah, Bill Collector's a performer
Um,
and a high level performer.
I'm not mad at Tay Rock. I'm not mad at Tay Rock being in that top five. I'm trying to think, like going off the top of my head.
You know, the other person I was gonna say was gonna be possibly Danny Myers because I think Danny Myers has added like some performance to what he does. You know, he does a lot of
Yeah,
everything. But you know, like even that stop hammer time like that, that's a performance bar that's just like crazy. You know,
yeah,
it wasn't very
for sure.
recent, but like things like that Danny's able, you know, kind of doing. You know.
You know what's funny? Like he's not gonna come up in these lists, but I haven't watched a lot of his battles, but I've seen a lot of clips lately. Oh Solo
Oh yeah.
is like I just want to know from Oh Solo, how are you able to get these bars off and you don't react?
He
Like
doesn't.
everybody
He
is going
raps
like
so.
because dog, it's one thing to be like in a setting where it's like The Office, right? Where you're acting, it's a TV show, right? And you're able to say cut and you can laugh. But Oh Solo is literally delivering like just the craziest stuff you can think of and around. Everybody around him's going crazy. They're
Yeah.
pushing him, and he's just sitting there stone faced, like
Yeah.
no reaction. O Solo, again, I have not watched a lot of O Solo battles, but he might be top five for me just off of the clips I see. Because
Oh,
one
Solo's the
brother
goat.
bring two
Yeah.
brothers, three brothers bring four. Like the fact that you're able to do this and maintain no
What kind
facial
of
expression
dressing
to
do
me
you
is
want on your
amazing.
knuckle sandwich? Yo, Osolo's the GOAT, man. Osolo's the GOAT. Before I ever started battle rapping, Osolo was the GOAT. You know, I seen Osolo for the first time when Cannon put me onto the Smack DVDs way back, way back. And his style was just like so unorthodox. I remembered him, you know, just like from those Smack DVDs, and so when I got into battle rapping or when I became a fan of battle rap, whatever, I would always check for Osolo because he was just so unorthodox and he was himself. And to be able to finally meet him at GTX event when I battled Frack, and then just kind of kick it with him and like he have a mutual respect or whatever, man. Osola is a dope. Also, E Ness is a performer as well. You know, E Ness is up there. That I want to make sure he gets mentioned as well. E Ness is always doing things to kind of engage the crowd, create that energy, put performance into his bars and different things like that. Not to mention his cadence and rapping ability as a performance as well. So
That's what's up. That's what's up. So y'all let us know what y'all think, man. Who y'all got in y'all top five performers? Again, go check out Jay Smo Reviews. He's got his top five list up. He's got all type of battle rap content. He's becoming more of a prominent figure within battle rap. Shout out to Let's Talk Battle Rap. He's been on the champion panel the last few years. To me, again, you may not agree with everything he says. You may not agree with the logic and the reasoning behind it. But to me, it is well thought out. It seems to be, in my opinion, with not a lot of bias. So check it out. But hit us up. Who y'all got? Top five performers in battle rap. Hit us up at BrainsandBars on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, IG. Let us know who y'all got. All right, man. So let's keep going, moving in this battle rap world, man. So